first diagnosed, my parents were told by doctors that I wouldn't even make it halfway through high school, let alone graduate high school. And so now I'm going to graduate college. I've got a lot more things to accomplish in life that I'm excited to pursue.
Volunteers with 5 Omaha Metro Home Depots spent the day planting and sawing to build a foundation for the Kaysville Riders Honor Guard.
From my experience from the Vietnam War, we weren't all welcome when we come home. But to see this,
I was born here 89 years ago. What has changed? Everything. I mean, from dirt roads, they went to gravel roads and then to blacktop roads out here in recent years.
I have evolved in how you draw me, though. Like this one was right when I first announced I was running for mayor.
From 3 News Now and the Omaha World-Herald, this is Omaha Sunday Morning with Jennifer Griswold.
Good morning and thanks for joining us this Sunday. I'm Jennifer Griswold. Any gardener will tell you it takes patience and a lot of hard work to grow fresh produce, but they'll also likely tell you it's a labor of love that's well worth it when the crops come in. Now a community garden in North Omaha is getting a boost thanks to dozens of local volunteers. 3 News Now reporter Alexa Ray shows us why new fruit plants will make a big impact in the neighborhood.
The fruits of their labor won't be seen for a number of years. Yet around 24 volunteers put down roots and planted fruit bushes at City Sprouts Garden in North Omaha.
Getting your hands dirty is something fun, and it's fun to get out of office and do that for sure.
However, these volunteers aren't just any volunteers. They are employees of the Kellogg's Omaha plant and interns with Lozier.
Yeah, I don't know if we could get this one.
They all got involved thanks to Kellogg's funding the garden's makeover.
And we want to make sure that our community is improving in the adverse environmental impacts.
This makeover isn't just for looks. Its goal is to increase the number of fruits and vegetables available in this neighborhood that is part of the food desert common in North Omaha. Many communities in this area are over a mile away from grocery stores, meaning many times there is little access to fresh fruits and vegetables.
I just want to eat them.
A problem these volunteers are hoping to change.
To be here helping this community have food, a necessity that we all have and sometimes take for granted, it's very important to have that and to contribute to that, to make sure that no one has to suffer without having food.
Lowering that burden makes all the hard work and sweat worth it for all those involved.
I haven't seen a volunteer that's come away from a project that said, oh, that was awful. I mean, people love to come out and people love to give back.
Just like the garden will for a number of years.
While the fruits that were planted at the garden won't be able to be picked for a few years, they are fully grown existing fruit plants in the garden that community members can already enjoy. Omaha area first responders work hard and often go unrecognized, but this week they got some special recognition. The First Responders Foundation delivered 900 lunches to area police and fire personnel. The meals were donated by CNA Industries, Arby's, and Omaha Steaks. This is the 8th year for the appreciation lunch. Over the past 6 years, local elementary school students have decorated the bags the lunches are delivered in with special messages. Witches, wizards, and muggles alike are flying high at a Harry Potter-themed festival in Thurman, Iowa. It's the 3rd annual Wizard Festival. Omaha World-Herald visual journalist Rebecca Gratz was there as Hogwarts-inspired professors educated young wizards while teams went to battle in the Quidditch arena.
Hello! Welcome to summer session. I'm of course Professor Sprout. Do you prefer planting the snapdragon or the basil root?
Today we are hosting the 3rd annual Wizard Festival and Quidditch match. We started it with just a few friends who wanted to play Quidditch, and it's blossomed into this big event where hundreds of people come just to watch each other play Quidditch. And this year we're offering opportunity for all the guests to actually play as well. We're having a Quidditch camp and then they get to play.
Yes!
Good job.
My daughter, who is now 26, basically considers herself the Harry Potter generation. The first book came out when she was in kindergarten, and when she graduated from high school, the last movie came out, so we've been watching it her entire childhood, and it's just become a real obsession with us.
Oh, welcome to Madam Sprout, Professor Sprout's class.
We have Professor Lockhart here. We have Professor Sprout here. If you know Harry Potter, these make sense to you. We have Luna Lovegood here. We have Ginny Weasley here, and they're all offering free activities for the kids to do.
Crocus! Crocus!
I think I like the magic of it and how wonderful everything is. I also find the fighting pretty cool too. Like, it kind of brings people together. Like, people all over just love magic and stuff. I like how it's like they're not exactly family, but they're more family than like anybody else would be.
There's another gnome.
I think the greatest thing is that you're outdoors, you're moving around, you're with nature, you're expanding your world and your creativity. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
I know. 20 points for Slytherin. Good job today, Cole.
Love that voice. The festival was held at the Moonstone Lavender Gardens in Thurman, Iowa this year. The sun's out and the heat is on, making it prime time to lounge by the pool or spend a little time by the lake. But all that time outdoors does come with a concern: sunburn. Coming up, why one group seems more likely to ditch the sunscreen and the major health concerns that come with that decision. We've all heard the warnings, and the message is clear. Too much sun exposure leads to skin cancer. But there's one group that doesn't seem to be getting that message. 3 News Now morning anchor Emily Zink shows us who's ditching the sunscreen and the real consequences it's having.
So this is Claire. She'll be 11 next month.
Shara Coles says she loves being a mom to these 3 little girls.
Lily is 4.5.
For 33-year-old Coles, everything about it is beautiful, especially breastfeeding. That's why she got this tattoo.
I get compliments on it all the time.
But now the ink signifies so much more than just motherhood.
The tattoo saved my life. I really honestly believe that.
Over time, Coles noticed a little change in the tattoo.
The freckle grew into this mole.
That mole started to itch, so Coles asked her doctor about it. She recommended burning it off. But instead, Coles went to Nebraska Medicine, where dermatologists would delicately remove it to protect the tattoo. From there, doctors did a biopsy.
And I'm just like, whoa, what? You mean I have cancer?
It was a shock.
It confronts you with your own mortality.
Coles had melanoma, the most dangerous form of skin cancer. The mole had to be removed.
We just didn't really think about it.
The California native admits she never wore sunscreen and loved looking tan.
When I was 20, I went to Mexico and got a really bad sunburn in Mexico.
Doctors say sunburn greatly increases your risk of melanoma. But Coles isn't the only millennial being diagnosed. Studies show it's happening at an alarming rate.
People were motivated to tan by the way it made them feel. They feel sexier. They feel more confident.
In 2012, the FDA required sunscreen bottles carry warning labels. But Amy Watson, an assistant marketing professor at Oregon State Cascades, found that doesn't stop those between 18 and 36 from soaking up the sun.
We have to go where they're getting their information about what beauty is. And right now, that is social media.
Watson is now in the early stages of an anti-tanning message aimed at young people. Many millennials overlook safety concerns because of higher rates of narcissism and low self-esteem. Watson says that's because of emotion-based decision-making.
Your natural skin color is the most beautiful skin color that you can have.
Coles agrees, and a new tattoo reminds her to never skip the sunscreen.
She's shielding herself from the angry sun because she doesn't want to get cancer.
Dermatologists recommend always choosing a sunscreen with SPF 30 or higher that is water resistant and has broad spectrum coverage. Also, remember it takes 15 minutes for your skin to absorb the sunscreen, so give it time to start working before you go outside. The week starts off hot, and even though we see slightly cooler temperatures by midweek, the warmer than average trend looks to continue. Rain is less likely in western Nebraska, but eastern Nebraska and most of Iowa will see some hit and miss rain chances throughout the week. This weekend, the arts are on full display in downtown Omaha. Painters, sculptors, musicians, all showing off their craft. One of those musicians is a young woman named Jocelyn. We first introduced you to her after she got her big break on a CBS show. Lindsay Thies has her story.
The monkey on your back is the latest trend. This was the first song Omaha singer-songwriter Jocelyn played on a guitar as a freshman in high school.
I went to my brother and, sung to him, and he was like, oh, you can't sing, and I was like, oh, okay. And then he was like, but if you want to, I'm gonna sign you up for choir class.
Let's just be ourselves tonight. In 2016, she released this song, Just Like Everybody Else, on iTunes. Maybe you've heard it. The video of her playing on the street in Old Market has garnered millions of views. I wanna go somewhere. With her signature mix-matched songs and an acoustic guitar, one thing is certain. This gal has some major pipes. After 4 years of working hard on her career here in Omaha, Jocelyn took the opportunity one day to go host an open mic down in Austin, Texas. She had no idea what was coming next.
I'm going undercover as Jackie Middleton.
The open mic was part of the CBS show Celebrity Undercover Boss.
They'll have no idea that I'm actually Darius Rucker.
Former Hootie and the Blowfish frontman, country favorite Darius Rucker surprised Jocelyn.
I just realized how hard it is to make it in the music business. My goal is to get you a record deal with a major to make you a superstar. Wow. Yeah. To help you with everything, just to get you started, I'm going to give you $10,000 to hone your craft. And on top of that, when you're ready, I'm going to personally walk you into the president of Universal Music Group. And I want you to wow him the way you wowed me with your song.
And from there, well, maybe we'll just let these lyrics from her song, Just Like Everybody Else, fill in the blanks. I wanna go somewhere, I'm gonna be someone.
Such a great sound. She sang Friday afternoon, but you can catch her at a number of Omaha venues throughout the year. Omaha's art scene is on full display this weekend with the Summer Arts Festival, but one group is working to keep fun art on display all the time, giving up-and-coming artists a chance to show off their skills more than once a year. How they're helping art rise to the top when Omaha Sunday Morning continues. As Omaha's art scene continues to grow and evolve, new ventures are taking place to bring attention to up-and-coming artists. The second installment of the Cream on Top pop-up gallery show greeted the Old Market in early June. Omaha World-Herald visual journalist Julia Nagy takes us to the show.
You see what's going on in the arts, when you're part of the scene, and you see who difference makers and talent kind of speaks for itself. And so we reached out and did a call out and kind of pulled together a lot of the strong artists in the community. And then so every time you do something like this, it creates a lot of different opportunities, a lot of different paths come off of something like this that wouldn't have been that way before. But now all of a sudden, you make new connections. And so you're bringing together the creatives and then the rest of the community. It gives that opportunity for everything to connect, and it's important to have that connection.
It seems like the arts and music culture in Omaha has always been really underground, and that the mainstream doesn't quite know or understand how to tap in. And I think, and it was more that way when we used to live here, in the early 2000s. And so we moved to Phoenix, and in that 7 years, we have seen Omaha just really open up and bloom, just kind of like bloom and boom in a way, because they're right up there with Phoenix right now. Going to some of these little hip diners and districts springing up, like the Blackstone district and things like that. It's bringing more college students in. It's bringing more mainstream, forming maybe bridges to the artists, themselves. Artists, sometimes they're aloof and they're hard to find, and they kind of like it that way, they're recluse, because that's how you make good art, you gotta be solitary, and so for them to put themselves out there, that doesn't always, happen. So we're just forming that bridge.
In a big city, the downtown, that's like an epicenter of culture, and so you want to see that. So with this, it's really cool to be, in the downtown, bringing new life to a building like this, and then you've got a lot of strong artists in the community coming out and coming together and putting on a powerful show,
The event featured a small group of hand-picked artists and performers aimed at bringing attention to new media and unknown talents. A group of Girl Scouts is getting a very high honor for their work to make their community a better place. When Omaha Sunday Morning continues, we catch up with one of the young women and find out how she's helping pets in Omaha. 3 Nebraska Girl Scouts are being honored for making meaningful changes in their community, earning their Girl Scout Gold Award, the highest honor in Girl Scouts. 3 News Now morning anchor James Johnson caught up with one of the girls to talk about her project and making the world a better place.
I've just always been surrounded by them, and it's just always been a big thing for me to make sure I can save as many lives as possible with them because they don't have a voice of their own.
Giving pets a voice, that was the goal behind Lily Slim's Gold Award project, recognizing an issue, coming up with a solution, and making a difference in the community.
But for the Gold Award, you had to do something that you were very passionate about that could be carried on.
Lily combined her love of animals with her passion for working with refugee children to teach them proper pet care, because animals like cats and dogs are looked at differently.
A lot of times in other countries, pets are not seen as pets, they're seen as food, or they're seen as dirty things that need to be kicked out onto the street or just thrown away. And so a lot of the kids, they might see those customs as regular, but when they come over here, they will not get to throw a dog away just because it has fleas. They have to learn that that's something, a life that they need to savor.
What started as a project highlighting pet care among children in other countries, she realized local kids would also benefit from this project. She worked with students at a local elementary school and created Floofs, an imaginary pet they were able to take home and learn about pet responsibility.
When I went to the kids, I had a basket of these, and we had little care bags with them, and they had food and water, beds, Band-Aids, so they could actually take care of their pets throughout the week.
Lily earned the Girl Scout Gold Award and received the Pat Meyer Award, which includes a $500 scholarship, a plaque, and a Girl Scout lifetime membership. But beyond the accolades, she's proud to make a difference.
It feels very enlightening to know that I can help kids, even though I'm so young. I've already made a difference, and I'm only 17.
So sky's the limit.
Yeah, basically.
The 2 other girls who earned their Gold Award and received the Pat Meyer Award, Liliana Delgado and Helen Wheatstein. All 3 girls had to be nominated for their projects and plan to continue working with the Girl Scouts. Omaha Sunday Morning continues after this with a look at a new place for your pup to check out. Dewey Park has officially gone to the dogs. Plans for a new and improved dog park are in the works with something for every dog and their owner. 3 News Now reporter Alexa Ray gives us a sneak peek at what's to come.
It's almost time to let the dogs out into a brand new park.
Dewey Dog Park will be unlike any other that the park department currently has and operates.
15,000 square feet of Dewey Park will belong to dogs of all sizes by early fall, as construction on the new urban dog park is expected to begin at the end of this month.
We foresee dog lovers not only from the Midtown, downtown area coming to this dog park, but from all around Omaha.
Park officials say that this park is different from the other 2 currently in town.
This is the first one like this. It won't be the last.
On the south side of the park is a plaza just for puppies, and the north side has a place for small and medium dogs to run and play, along with a separate area for large dogs to do the same. A place Kaiser Gutierrez can't wait to bring his dog Kane to. Kaiser has been bringing Kane to Dewey Park for about 3 weeks.
He gets distracted by all the tennis balls.
And thinks Dewey Park is the perfect space for the new dog park where he could let Kane play with other dogs.
That'd be awesome because of the area. There's nowhere else to go to.
The park will take several months to complete and cost around $400,000. And park officials are hoping to offer other things for your 4-legged family member, such as dog grooming and other amenities you wouldn't normally find in the middle of a park. In Omaha, Alexa Ray, 3 News Now.
Park officials hope to have the new park open by the beginning of fall, as long as there isn't bad weather slowing down that process. There's a lot going on this week in Omaha. Here's a look at 3 things you need to know about. Tomorrow kicks off the start of hydrant party season. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from now until the first week of August, the Omaha Parks and Rec Department will bring the water party to your neighborhood across the city. KMTV is a proud sponsor of the summer fun, and our own Ryan McPike will stop by some of the parties this summer. On Tuesday night, you'll get a chance to see the plans for Omaha's riverfront. The master plan for Omaha's side of the riverfront revitalization effort is complete. The public is invited to check them out during a community meeting at Gallup. The meeting runs from 5 to 7. And this Thursday is Flag Day. The Durham Museum is holding a special event to celebrate. The Honor Guard from Offutt Air Force Base will be on hand to help retire the museum's current flag and raise a new one in the Suzanne and Walter Scott Great Hall. The USAF Band will also perform. Families will have a chance to do some crafts, play a little flag trivia, and make cards to send to servicemen and women. Baseball is full of stories of the underdog rising to the top, but this next story is not your typical success story. A diagnosis at a young age kept a Papillion man from playing his favorite sport, but it did not keep him off the field. How he's defying expectations and inspiring young athletes when Omaha Sunday Morning continues. Baseball and summer go hand in hand. On any given night in Nebraska, you'll find an American Legion baseball team hard at work practicing or playing off under the lights. And on the sidelines for one of those teams sits a manager and scorekeeper with a story all his own, one that's inspiring the players he works with. Omaha World-Herald visual journalist Rebecca Gratz introduces us to Derek Castor.
Battle now 11, let's go kid. Single to right field. Hey, right side! Tomorrow I'm actually graduating from college from Bellevue University with a degree in graphic design. And when I was first diagnosed, my parents were told by doctors that I wouldn't even make it halfway through high school, let alone graduate high school. And so now I'm going to graduate college. I've got a lot more things to accomplish in life that I'm excited to pursue. Hey, good pitch! We've been coaching baseball for 8 years with my dad's friend Tony, and we wanted to do something to bring the teams together. So we decided that we can use these wristbands as a way to not only raise awareness for muscular dystrophy, but as a way to unify the team. And I don't have the gene dystrophin. That gene is what helps bond your muscles together and build strength. Not only just my physical muscles, but my internal organs too. But I'm not letting that stop me. Help yourself out, kid. Let's go now. What I really want to get out of coaching these kids every year is I want them to understand that life will throw you curveballs, no pun intended, but you can get through it. Just because I'm in a wheelchair and a little physically weaker than everyone else, I'm a normal dude that loves baseball and just loves living life. So I hope that they can carry that into their lives and not only be better people on the field, but off the field.
What a great coach. Derek was inducted into the Papillion La Vista Schools Foundation Hall of Fame, and he has served as Nebraska Goodwill Ambassador for the Muscular Dystrophy Association. A statue honoring those who served in the Korean and Vietnam Wars is one step closer to reality. Crews placed the footings this week at Memorial Park. It will be a replica of the old statue, which was beyond repair. The City Council approved $100,000 for the project last year. Donations will cover the remaining $250,000 cost. They hope to have construction completed by the 4th of July. It's a makeover project on a big mission to make sure those who have sacrificed for our country and their families do not feel forgotten. A new headquarters for the Canesville Riders Honor Guard in Council Bluffs is in the works, and now a well-known home improvement store is lending a hand in some much-needed supplies so that riders can provide military honors at veterans' funerals. 3 News Now reporter Megan Hahn has the story.
This building here at North 30th Street and Avenue B in Council Bluffs will soon be home to the new headquarters of the Canesville Riders Honor Guard, thanks to some hard work and a little elbow grease of some dedicated volunteers. From the ground up, a remodel that'll become home base for a group dedicated to the veteran community.
We let no veteran be laid to rest without having their due rights.
The Canesville Riders Honor Guard has been at the side of more than 380 veterans as they're laid to rest.
Now the organization that gives back to so many received an act of kindness in return.
We went to buy paint, and when we went to the cashier, they found out who we were, and the guy come back and said it's paid for.
Just got to talking with them, and they were hilarious and so friendly, and I just asked them if they would give us an opportunity to see if we could help them out with some product and some volunteer work.
That chance encounter in March put wheels in motion. Tuesday, with supplies from a $19,000 grant, volunteers with 5 Omaha Metro Home Depots spent the day planting and sawing to build a foundation for the Kaysville Riders Honor Guard.
From my experience from the Vietnam War, we weren't all welcome when we come home. But to see this, real powerful to see the community backing our group up for what we do. And we know that whenever they give to us, we give back.
It's such an amazing effort there. Team Depot is always looking for veterans outreach organizations to partner with. We'll have more information on how you can apply for grants with Home Depot on our website, 3newsnow.com. Still ahead on Omaha Sunday Morning, we go into the archives. Plus, from farmland to housing development, the landscape in West Omaha has changed. But one farm family is staying old school. Crossroads Mall was the first of its kind in Omaha. In June of 1961, families packed the recently opened mall for one-stop shopping at more than 24 stores. Building is booming in Omaha with new housing developments and business parks pushing farther and farther west. In the last 2 or 3 decades, the landscape has drastically changed. The fields that once surrounded Elkhorn and Gretna, fields that grew corn and soybeans, have now sprouted houses, schools, and businesses. Omaha Sunday Morning visual journalist Rebecca Gratz sat down with one of the last farm families on 204th Street and shows us how they're straddling the fuzzy line between the area's rural past and suburban present.
I was born here 89 years ago. What has changed? Everything. I mean, from dirt roads to, they went to gravel roads and then to blacktop roads out here in recent years. And I've been around long enough. I did some work with horses. That takes it back a ways too. It's grown up to houses. I guess we live with it because we can't change it. It's kind of tough to see it all disappearing. And where we had hills, they make it flat, they level the ground and start building.
It's been a slow, steady process, the development moving this way, and I actually didn't encourage my sons to farm just because of what has happened in our area right now. Everybody's happy here. Dad lives on the farm, I live on the farm. Even though housing has surrounded us, we're still in a nice little area here and surrounded by, I guess, our own property to some extent. The change out here has just been remarkable. Elkhorn has a great school district and people want to live out in this area, you know, maybe get out, you know, in the suburbs a little more or whatever. And, you know, it impedes us, you know, getting from field to field a little bit with the traffic and congestion, but I mean, there's no problem as far as that's concerned. Obviously, developers have talked to us and interested, you know, in our property if we're willing to sell. As of this moment, we're in no hurry to sell. Dad's 89 years old. He still plants, he farms his own ground here. I just look at the people around us as being, you know, new neighbors. More power to them to move out in the country and get a little bit of the country life.
It's changing, and obviously we look forward to change, or we don't look forward to it, either one, but it's going to change. There's just, you don't really have an option on it.
Now the family drives a tractor through 10 stoplights to reach one field. They try to move the farm equipment really early in the day or really late, taking into consideration suburban drivers are not accustomed to having to slow down for a tractor bumping along a 4-lane city road. Still, the men insist the development does not make them angry. They understand the need. If boating, fishing, or camping is how you plan to spend part of your summer, you're in luck. There's a new spot to try out. Coming up, we go to Duck Creek, the latest recreation area to open, just a short drive down Highway 75. On this Sunday, a look at what's happening this week in Omaha. Tomorrow, grab a blanket and head to Turner Park for Monday night movies. This week's showing, Black Panther. Wednesday, the Jocelyn Castle will transform into a classroom. The topic, bees. The whole family is welcome. It starts at 6:30. And Thursday, the College World Series comes to town. Opening ceremonies, events run all day long with team practices, a parade, even fireworks. For more information on these events and many more this week, take a look at the community calendar on omaha.com. This summer, boaters, fishermen, and campers have a new spot to check out. Just a few days ago, the Duck Creek Recreation Area near Peru, Nebraska officially opened. Omaha World-Herald visual journalist Chris Makian takes us to the lake.
Today was our dedication and grand opening of the Duck Creek Recreation Area, way between Nebraska City and Auburn, 2 miles off Highway 75 in Omaha County.
Having grown up in the area over at Julian, I remember this area quite well. The 2 steep hills and the 2 crooked bridges, and narrow bridges at the bottom of the hill. And going down those hills with a tractor, and I didn't come this way very often because it really wasn't a very good road. But I would have never guessed that anything like this would have ever happened. Isn't this great?
The project, it's a 61-acre lake, a dam. It's a flood control dam that we added recreation to as an additional benefit. 61-acre lake. We've got fishing, boating, no-wake boating, campgrounds. A lot of angler access along the shore, so folks don't have to have a boat to fish. It's a great spot for kayaks and just a general purpose outdoor recreation facility. We've got recreational RV pads with electricity. There's 28 of those. There's a lot of the facilities are handicapped accessible, so if you have a disability, you can usually get to most of the areas. We have a tent camping area. It's a vehicle admission, $5 a day, or you can buy an annual permit from the NRD for $15. And it's also good for 3 of our other recreation facilities. The project's been really well received. It's really busy out here on the weekends. Lots of folks. We've gotten a lot of good comments. So really enjoyed putting this project together for the public.
All right, here we go.
Duck Creek is 5 miles northwest of Peru, just off Highway 75. And later this month, a new lake in West Omaha will open for visitors. Flanagan Lake will open June 27th. The $4 million project near 168th and Fort features more than 400 acres of parkland where visitors can fish, cycle, and walk the trails. Crews are still putting the final touches on the lake named for Boys Town founder Father Edward Flanagan. And though she be but little, she is fierce. A few words packed full of meaning for the little lives born too soon, fighting to survive in the neonatal intensive care unit. For parents, families, and the staff at Nebraska Medicine's NICU, it's a fight that comes with ups and downs. 3 News Now reporter Vandra Caldwell was there as Nebraska Medicine celebrated a major up, a reunion of former NICU patients.
Some of the babies, or the majority of them, will start out their journey in there.
For these former newborn intensive care unit patients, life started in an isolate like this one on display at the NICU reunion. Now they're healthy, happy, and strong, thanks to their nurses and doctors.
It's a process because we're strangers at first, but when they leave, they are family, and we love them, and we worry about them.
For some patients, months, even years have passed. Still, this day is all about sharing those unforgettable first moments at Nebraska Medicine.
Nobody else in their environment's going to know that true story that they went through but us. And so we have that connection, like, oh, I remember that. How are you guys doing?
Jane Anderson has touched many lives during her 10 years as a NICU nurse. Now these former patients are giving her life.
It's like Christmas. Every few minutes a new family comes down and you're like, oh, yay.
Among the newborns Anderson worked with,
he had a lot of difficulties in the hospital. And with him being born that earlier, we didn't expect a lot of those things happening.
Is 2-year-old Dason Mitchell, who spent 5 months in the NICU. He weighed 1 pound and 12 ounces, born at just 25 weeks.
The nurses did a very great job it was just different, you know, with having someone else helping parenting our child, you know, but we was thankful to be able to have that.
Anderson smiles as she reunites with Dason. She says it's the old and new memories that keep her going.
It's an overwhelming experience. Sometimes I feel like I can't believe I get to do this as a job. To me, I have the greatest job in the world.
And they do such amazing work. When you run for public office, everyone is a critic, including political cartoonist Jeff Katurba. But what happens when one of his subjects critiques his work? That's next when Omaha Sunday Morning returns. World-Herald editorial cartoonist Jeff Katurba is never short on opinions. But can he take what he dishes out? It's time to find out as one of his repeat subjects shares her thoughts on his cartoons.
I'm Jeff Katurba. I am the editorial cartoonist for the Omaha World-Herald. As many of you know, I draw 5 fresh editorial cartoons a week. Some of those are national and international. Cartoons about the president or Congress or leaders of other countries. But what I love more than anything, and what I get to do that no other cartoonist in the country gets to do, I draw about politicians from Omaha and Nebraska, including the mayor. For the past 5 years, Omaha's first female mayor, Jean Stothert, has given me plenty of material, although not as much lately. Anyway, I've criticized her many times, but I've also praised her. I'm like a baseball umpire. I call them as I see them. Strike! Recently, I stopped by the mayor's office for a visit, where she showed me a collection of some of her favorite cartoons.
Here is my wall. Of course, it's not the prettiest wall.
I've drawn you a lot.
I know, because no, this is only half of it. These are definitely my favorites,
Yeah.
and I have one here down here that I
Okay.
have not put up yet.
Okay.
My husband thinks they're hilarious, and I don't get like this one.
Right.
I really didn't get this one, but my husband thought it was great, and so we had that framed. But I get them all framed so that we can put them up here. But I have evolved in how you draw me, though. Like this one. This one was right when I first announced I was running for mayor.
Sure.
And this one I think is hilarious because I love Subtle's face in that.
Yeah.
And I think Brad Ashford is spot on in that one
But
too.
you're not wearing heels in,
I know,
in that
no.
because you're running.
Because I'm running. This has to be my all-time favorite though. I mean, that was just so cool to have that, and I love that on there too.
Oh, right, the little extra saying no fire department.
So that is my all-time favorite,
Yeah.
but I will tell you
Yeah.
which one I think it was your most clever that I laugh at every time I look at is this.
Oh, okay, yeah, the McDonald's.
This is great.
Yeah.
Would you like my new McDeal?
McDeal.
And it's McDonald's,
Yeah.
and you've got my demands, and you got the fire truck
Yeah.
in there, and
Yeah.
I just love this.
Oh, thanks.
But that's when you make the comment that you can't see.
Oh,
my
you can't.
feet,
I
but
can't see your
I'm
feet.
wearing
You're
heels.
wearing. Well, because I think it was this cartoon that.
It's this one and this one. You used to draw me as kind of a short, overweight woman with flat shoes all the time, and I never wear flat shoes.
Oh, well, I don't know if I ever told you this. The reason I had you in flats because we had done a story that you were, on the gun range,
Yes.
target practice, and you're taking a shot at the city budget. I
love it. I
thought
this.
it would be disrespectful and stereotypical to show you in heels shooting a gun. So I
get it.
When you shoot at the gun range, do you wear heels?
No.
You wear flats?
Oh, absolutely.
So journalistically.
Yes.
All right.
But I wouldn't be shooting with a suit on at the shooting range either. You may not know this, but I'm a very accomplished artist.
Are you?
No.
Oh, okay. Frankly, I'm just glad she didn't have a second wall, where she posts all the cartoons she doesn't like and turns them into dartboards. Seriously, the mayor was gracious and funny, so funny in fact, she agreed to draw a cartoon about moi. But hey, we're out of time, so we'll have to get to the mayor's drawing of me next time. So, stay tuned.
Yeah, he better show that, otherwise we'll ask the mayor herself. That's all for this week. Thanks for watching Omaha Sunday Morning, and we'll see you back here next week.